Welcome everybody to Niners Now. I'm your host Brady Grustas at GrustasBrady on X. You can follow me there, and it's nice to meet you. This is the first video of what'll hopefully be many on this channel, and I am super excited to get started and get to talking 49ers football with you all 5 days a week on the Niners Now channel. We're in the depths of the offseason right now. The team is on vacation. The guys are either out in Cabo or doing podcasts, but here at Niners Now, I'm ready to look ahead to next season. On the schedule today, we'll be talking about 3 breakout candidates for San Francisco this year. I'm talking guys who I think are ready to take the next leap in their careers and really produce for a new look 49ers team trying to get back into the playoff conversation. And later in the show, tune in for all the info on the 49ers' potential new uniforms. Before we begin, go ahead and subscribe down below, leave a like, leave a comment, and let's get into it. So what is a breakout candidate? First, it's someone who has the chance to take a big leap and put their name on the map, right? Become a real contributor, whether that's going from a bench player to a starter, or, a starter to a star, or a star to a superstar. These big leaps happen every year in the NFL. Just last year, we had guys like Sam Darnold, Zach Bond, Jonnu Smith, and even our very own Jauan Jennings explode onto the scene and impact winning every single week. I've got 3 guys today that I think have a chance to take that kind of leap for the 49ers this season. Now, first, I want to start off with a guy who did not have a very big year one, and that is wide receiver Jacob Cowing. Of course, Cowing was a late 4th-round pick last year out of Arizona who fell in the draft because of his size. He's already a shorter guy, and he's got a pretty thin frame. On the 49ers website, he's listed at 5'9", 171 pounds. And to any 5'9" listeners, I'm not calling you short, okay? I'm just saying little short for an NFL player, right? Little undersized. And unfortunately, it seemed like his size really limited him in his rookie season. Cowing was the punt returner all year long, and that certainly did not get off to a very solid start. Cowing had a pretty shaky beginning to his punt return career. He muffed a few punts early, and it just looked a little funky. Eventually, though, he did adjust and became a serviceable returner. He's probably going to be the punt returner for this season as well, but he only played 106 snaps on offense all year long, despite all the wide receiver injuries and missed games that the Niners had last year. Only 106 snaps is really not very much. But all the buzz this summer has been about how Cowing is really bulking up, he's embracing the grind, and he's going to be a real threat for the 49ers offense next year. The new 49ers offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak said, quote, "Jake is doing a great job. He's had a great offseason. He's given himself a chance to get to camp and compete and to really contribute on offense," end quote. Now, Cowing showed some flashes of really awesome speed and savvy route running last year, as well as all over his college tape. He looked great coming out of Arizona. So if his body is NFL ready now, then those flashes could become a lot more consistent. And honestly, looking at the 49ers wide receiver room right now, some consistency would be nice. Brandon Ayuk is rehabbing a serious knee injury. Ricky Pearsall just missed OTAs for the 2nd year in a row. And yes, I know, the 49ers have said that Pearsall is going to be ready for training camp coming up July 22nd, but this is the 2nd year he's missed OTAs. He's been in the league 2 years. He's never been in OTAs before, right? I know it seems like a little bit of a nitpick, but even if you take out that tragic gunshot wound he suffered, he hasn't been the best at staying healthy. So that's definitely something I'll be monitoring with Ricky going forward. I think he's a great player, but availability is the best ability, right? Speaking of availability, the free agent acquisition they brought in, Demarcus Robinson, is potentially going to be suspended for a DUI? I mean, there hasn't been any official movement on that front so far, but the assumption when the 49ers signed him back in free agency was that he was coming with a 3-game suspension for a DUI he had a while back. Of course, if there is any official ruling on the suspension, you guys will hear about it on this channel. But right now, there's a lot of question marks with this wide receiver room. And the closer you look, the more you realize Jauan Jennings and Jacob Cowing might be the starting wide receivers week 1 for the 49ers. I also considered talking about the rookie out of Ole Miss, Jordan Watkins, But I think the extra year in the system is going to benefit Cowing a lot more. And I think Kyle Shanahan's no rookie policy is probably going to limit Watkins from getting any real play time, at least this year. I think Jacob Cowing breaks out this year and he becomes a starting caliber player for the 49ers. Now, the next player I want to talk about has been a starter for half of his NFL career by now, but he has yet to make a Pro Bowl or even establish himself as a long-term starter. But I think that there's a big opportunity for Jason Pinnock to take over that free safety role for the 49ers. Pinnock just turned 26, and he signed with the 49ers this offseason. He last played for the New York Giants, where he started the last 2 years at safety. He was really impressive under defensive coordinator Wink Martindale, but once the Giants let Martindale go to hire Shane Bowen, Pinnock really struggled. But before Pinnock went to the Giants, he was actually drafted by Robert Saleh and the Jets in the 5th round. So clearly, Saleh saw something in him then. And with Malik Mustafa potentially starting the year on the PUP list, Pinnock is certainly going to get the first shot at that Week 1 starting spot at safety. And don't be surprised if he holds on to that spot all year long. He started 16 games in each of the last 2 seasons for the Giants. I mean, we were just talking about availability with Ricky Pearsall and Demarcus Robinson. Availability might be Jason Pinnock's biggest strength. He's certainly not guaranteed to be some great ball hawk at safety for this team. He's only got 2 career interceptions, but he's impressed when he's playing under a good defensive coordinator, and there's a clear path for him to succeed under Robert Saleh, a good defensive coordinator, on the 49ers this year. Now, the last guy on my list is someone that the Niner fans are already very familiar with. He's entering year 6 on the team. It's CB1, Deommodore Lenoir, one of my favorite players on the team, recently extended to a $92 million contract. Now, 49er fans, you guys know just how good Lenoir really is, but I think that this is the year that Demo becomes a household name. It seems like he'll mostly be playing on the outside this year after the Niners brought in Upton Stout and Trey Brown to potentially compete for the nickel spot. Lenoir has gotten better and better for the last 3 years, and I think under Saleh that continues once again this year. He was excellent last year. Lenoir was easily one of the 10 best players on the team, and he was a real bright spot in, frankly, a terrible season for San Francisco. He's sticky in coverage, he's versatile, he's fearless, and he's aggressive in the run game. They don't call him the hyena for nothing. Lenoir doesn't back down against anybody. But I think that there is even more room to grow for Demo, especially if we get an improved front 7 and an improved pass rush compared to last season. If you look at turnovers, and specifically interceptions, they can be a pretty luck-based stat sometimes, but Lenoir has never had more than 3 picks in a season. Maybe this is the year that changes. Saleh's had success with guys of Lenoir's style, right? You look at DJ Reed back in his time with the Jets, and I think if Lenoir does take another leap, we see a Pro Bowl or maybe even an All-Pro nod for Lenoir next season. So Jacob Cowing, Jason Pinnock, and Deommodore Lenoir are all guys that I've got my eye on as we head into training camp and the preseason. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Comment down below and tell me who you think is ready for a breakout year. Now let's switch gears and let's go back in time, okay? We're going to go back to earlier this summer when the NFL schedule was released. By the way, I absolutely love how it's sort of become a tradition for each team to really lean into their creativity for these schedule releases. I think social media teams and marketing teams, they work super hard and they make some really fun videos every year. It's one of the better parts of a very long NFL offseason, in my opinion. And I thought, honestly, the Niners had a pretty solid video this season. If you haven't seen it, I'll make sure to link it in the description below. It was all based on this retro arcade game / video game / Oregon Trail aesthetic. And at the end of the video, the protagonist wins the video game and earns a prize, which a lot of the fans think is a teaser for a new 49ers uniform. Now, I tend to agree for a couple reasons. First, like I just mentioned, we've got this mysterious prize that came in a box. It looks roughly big enough to be a box for a jersey, right? And then we had the NFL's announcement for their rivalry jersey program. If you haven't heard about this, basically, the teams in the NFC West and the AFC East will all be receiving new special rivalry jerseys, which they can wear during a home divisional game. So the 49ers, Cardinals, Seahawks, Rams, Jets, Patriots, Bills, and Dolphins, they're all going to get a chance to wear these jerseys next year. So the natural assumption, at least to me, is that the prize teased in that video is the rivalry jersey, right? So open and shut case. But none of the rivalry jerseys have been revealed yet, so this is all kind of speculation for now. But folks, there's actually even more to consider, and there's even more to kind of speculate about, because seemingly out of nowhere, the 49ers dropped a quote-unquote visual brand refresh on the team website. Now, they didn't mention anything specifically regarding jerseys, but they have introduced tweaks to the classic SF logo, a new font, and even a new official color palette. And of course, I'll link the overview of all of these changes in the description as well if you'd like to check them out yourself. The logo keeps that intertwined SF, but it loses that iconic red oval. And the faithful script, which is what they are calling the new font, is pretty nice looking in my opinion. It feels classic, but not outdated, right? Now, I don't think the 49ers will be massively changing their branding. I think this new logo is more of a secondary branding icon. And in the same vein, I think that the faithful script font is mostly going to be appearing in marketing materials, maybe billboards or around the stadium. We know that the main uniforms that the Niners wear are not going to be changing because they've already had their media day photo shoots, and in those photo shoots, they were wearing the same jerseys that they've had the past few seasons. But I do want to tie this all back together a little bit by talking about the new color palette. I think this could be relevant with the rivalry jerseys in particular. They've introduced 4 specific shades, and those shades are called Heritage Cream, Montana Red, Gold Rush Gradient, and Primetime Black. On the website, it says that these 4 shades are going to complement white to make up their entire palette. So 5 colors, right? You've got white, and then the cream, the red, the gold, and then the black. Now, cream is a color that I don't think I can remember the 49ers ever using on their uniforms, at least not since I've been alive. And that sort of like off-white shade it really goes well with the new Montana Red, which is noticeably a little bit darker and almost more brown than that bright scarlet red that they have on their jerseys right now. Like if you look here at my 97 Nick Bosa jersey, this is a real bright red, but the Montana Red that they put on the website is definitely a little bit darker. The Gold Rush Gradient, I'd say, is pretty standard. It's like this glossy gold, a lot like the one that they've had on their helmets for a long, long time. But the color that interests me most is the Primetime Black. Now, folks, hopefully some of you were around to witness the all-black 49ers Color Rush jerseys, back when the Niners were absolutely terrible post-Jim Harbaugh. I could still picture guys like Carlos Hyde, Colin Kaepernick, Alex Boone, and Navarro Bowman wearing those jerseys. I actually bought an all-black Navarro Bowman jersey. That was my first football jersey I ever owned. I wish I had it here to show you guys, but you'll have to take my word for it. Back in the Jim Tomsula and Chip Kelly era, I forget if it was both of those years or maybe just one, but regardless, not a great period of time for the 49ers football team. Although personally, I was kind of a fan of that uniform. I'm going to connect some dots here, though, so stay with me. The black is called Primetime Black, and we know the 49ers are getting this new uniform through the rivalry program. And thanks to the video, we can kind of infer that the jerseys might have some sort of retro or throwback inspiration. So hear me out. Can we expect the rivalry uniforms to be some sort of throwback, maybe incorporating the cream, the Heritage Cream, or maybe incorporating some Primetime Black? Are we going to get the Color Rush jerseys back? Are those rivalry jerseys going to be the all-black jerseys? Do we maybe get a new helmet using some of these brand new colors? The NFL just changed their helmet rules, so teams can have alternate helmets now. Right now, like I said, all speculation, so it's really tough to say. Let me know in the comments if you think I've just got my tinfoil hat on and none of this really connects whatsoever. But let me know if you think I cracked the code. Let me know if you think I'm onto something here. Would you be down for an all-black 49ers jersey? Comment down below. Thank you all for watching, and subscribe for more daily 49ers content. I'm Brady Grustas, at GrustasBrady on X. This has been Niners Now, and I'll see you tomorrow.